Hello everyone, this is KoTH giving you a shoutcast and now the next game in the series. I'm not quite sure where I messed up. I am saying I am messing up as it feels like I'm short a game somewhere. Anyways, let's go ahead and take a look into the series as we have Tara versus, well, I believe it's Faith. No, it's ADS. So it's Tara versus ADS here on Twisted Meadows. Game number, well, I believe it's game number 4 in the series. Hopefully I am not mistaken, as we are all getting underway. Now, so far, what are we taking a look at? Tree of Life, Altar of Elders with a Moonwell now being placed down, and an Ancient of War being placed down over here. Gonna go ahead and speed this up to 8 times speed for just a moment here as we get to that all-important 2-minute mark. Now, what's going to come down in this series? Let's go ahead and take a look, as Tara is going to be coming out with this Death Knight. Meanwhile, Ancient of War is doing a bit of creeping and now going to go ahead and take down the Null Overseer in addition to the Null Wardens. Back off to the north here, it looks like it is going to be a Demon Hunter coming in to take down these units. Archers and a Ghoul now trying to do a little bit of stealing as well, as things are getting underway. Demon Hunter go ahead and try to push back that Ghoul, make sure that that Ghoul doesn't disrupt too much of the creeping here, as the Null Overseer is still in position. Alright, the Death Knight could come over, try to get a bit of a steal, and oh, who got the experience? The Demon Hunter barely did there, as the Death Knight did have Unholy Horror to get there rather quickly, but is still in a bit of a predicament. Ancient of War now taking a lot of damage, needs to eat a lot of trees in order to stay alive. This could be extremely bad news, as the Demon Hunter now takes the aggro away, and the Ancient of War can now root itself to try and regenerate some hit points. Often the situation for Night Elf players, they are in a little bit of a sticky situation. They need the Ancient of War to do double duty, training up units and also helping creeping, as we now see the Demon Hunter now make its way over. The Death Knight gonna be coming in over here, unable to really do anything. Not that many skeletons for that Rod of Necromancy. Mana burn now onto that Death Knight. Not quite sure why you would ever want to mana burn the Death Knight when he has Unholy Aura first, as the Demon Hunter, if he did start taking damage, would have to replenish mana as well as hit points. You can see the Death Knight is off over here, and he is getting an army of ghouls back from home, and this is going to be big, as the Archer now trying to run on by will be able to do exactly that. The ghouls going to finish off the Null Warden here. There they go, finishing off that creep camp, and the Death Knight is on the board with some experience. Now, let's go ahead and take a look. The Demon Hunter now still doing a little bit of a dance around here. The Death Knight still coming in, and the Death Knight trying to get a good surround onto the Demon Hunter, unable to do so even with Unholy Aura. This is turning out to be a pretty traditional game opening by the Death Knight, as the Death Knight and the Ghouls are still just running laps. Meanwhile, skeletal minions doing a little bit of harassment inside the base, trying to go after some of those workers are going to fall here, as the Demon Hunter and Archers are now battling it out. Archer now needs to try to get away. Death Knight does have Dust of Appearance, doesn't have a Scroll of Town Portal, as the Archers now quickly do a big turnaround to try and fight back. Alright, some of those ghouls have taken a fair bit of damage. Demon Hunter does have a lot of damage on him, especially with the Claws of Attack +6. That base attack is rather impressive, as we're now going to see another ghoul getting focused. The Archers and the ghouls are able to focus down those units relatively quickly. You can see an Archer now back off over here, as well as the Death Knight is going to be doing a bit of retreating. Demon Hunter down to 160 some odd hit points, needs to regenerate some. Ancient of War now making the slow trek over to this mercenary camp, as the Demon Hunter should be able to heal back up and then start leading the fight once more. Alright, Demon Hunter has been healed up. I believe a drink from the Moonwell right there. Yes, pretty much back up to full hit points, as we are now looking at the Death Knight clearing out this 5-3-3 creep camp and getting to level 2 before his opponent. Death Knight looking extremely strong at this point from Tara, and as long as the Death Knight can stay ahead in the experience race, that is going to be extremely good news. The Death Knight, though, does pick up Claws of Attack of his own, and now we see a Panda being picked up as well. The Panda, an extremely strong hero that that counters the immediate strategy of the Demon, or of that Death Knight. Death Knight now looking to pull back once more. Ghouls are now coming in. Quick selling of that Claws of Attack +6. There you go. Quick selling of that Claws of Attack +6, as the Death Knight now running back off to the top left. Coming back over here. Panda now engaging against the Rock Golem, the Ogre Warriors, and the Forest Trolls down here. It looks like this creep camp will fall relatively quickly. Rock Golem will get taken out, and the Demon Hunter with a Potion of Greater Mana most likely will be transferred to that Panda, as the Panda is the one that is really much more mana intensive. Most Tavern heroes are more mana intensive, and that's the reason why Night Elf players can use them so efficiently, constantly going back to those Moonwells. Meanwhile, let's take a look at this. Demon Hunter is at level 2. Panda is still sitting at level 1 as the Death Knight inching closer, ever closer to level 3. We are sitting or getting to level 3 or tier 3 already. There's that Slaughterhouse. Lich is already going to be trained. And it looks like we are going to be going into that classic tier 3 matchup, perhaps with some Obsidian statues. We should see some dual Ancients of Lore action already underway. We are quickly teching to tier 3 for Dryads and Bears most likely, but the timing by the Night Elf is actually a little bit slower than I would have expected. Because of the necessary time to mastery train up in order to get Bears, you normally have one Ancient of Lore already completed so that it can start doing that Adept training first. Alright, there is a Breath of Fire. That Panda just shy of level 2 right now. The archers could turn around and get an easy shot off onto that Skeletal Warrior to get it down. And oh, beautiful archers able to do a little bit of pathing. There's now level 2 on the Panda, as the Panda is still doing a little bit of chasing. Where is that Demon Hunter? Demon Hunter is now off over here in a very, very tight spot. Pretty much nowhere to run. Demon Hunter now trying to go after, get at least a ghoul. There's one ghoul to his name. And now I'm going to use that Scroll of Town Portal to head back home. Alright, Scroll of Town Portal, pretty much regenerating all of those hit points in an instant. Needs to pick up a Staff of Preservation and maybe even a Staff of Teleportation, as the Ancient of War is going to be creeping out the Goblin Observatory. Goblin Observatory here, very, very good creep camp for that Panda. The Panda should get very close to level 3, if not level 3, if the Rock Golem drops a Tome of Experience. Meanwhile, down over here, the Death Knight and the Lich now it's continuing to do their creeping action, as the Death Knight already sitting at 3. This is one of those situations where you could pull back with the Death Knight. The Death Knight doesn't really need the experience compared to the Lich, and you really want the Lich to get to level 3 for that all-important level 2 Frost Nova, able to deal much more damage, the hero nuking that much more effective, as the Rock Golem will get taken down here. Off to the north, Panda gonna get to level 3. It looks like a Tome of Experience was dropped, thereby giving the Panda level 3 once he finishes creeping out these creep camps here. Troll High Priest taking a bit of damage, finally out of mana, so will not be able to heal up all of the damage that the Dryads and the Archers are doing. Lich still sitting at level 1. Death Knight now sitting at level 3, trying to make its way over here to what I'll call the 2 o'clock position. And what is going to be happening next, we can take a look down over here as the Obsidian statues are just keeping this army very, very strong, as the Death Knight and the Lich still working together to try and get more and more experience. Alright, Demon Hunter only sitting at level 2 with a 50-point mana burn onto those Obsidian statues. And that's really important to try to mana burn down those statues. Even if the Obsidian statue has a lot of mana, what you really want to make sure is that when they do start turning into destroyers, they cannot absorb mana and just become very, very beefy units. Panda sitting at level 3 now, and if the Panda actually gets to level 4, that would mean that the Panda is very, very high in level over that Demon Hunter. The Demon Hunter is still trying to harass, and the Panda creeping alongside Bears and Dryads could make a bit of an interesting play, trying to get to level 4 and making his opponent overestimate his ability. You can see another quick mana burn there. The Demon Hunter now looking to back off down to 110 hit points. He needs to find a way to get healed. There's going to be a Druid of the Claw rejuvenation right there. There we go, as the Bears are now going into, well, bear form. All right, Bears now ready to go. Here you go. Demon Hunter now quickly comes in with a mana burn. Demon Hunter absorbing a whole bunch of damage. This could be bad. Potion of Greater Healing. As you can see, now the Panda sitting at level 3 comes out of nowhere. And is it going to finish off the last ghoul? No, it is not. The rest of the creep camp is for the Demon Hunter to take. And the Demon Hunter now gets to level 3, as the Panda is now very, very close to level 4. All right, so Tara may have misread his cues thinking that, hey, I have the hero advantage. He only has a level 2 Demon Hunter. Little did he know his opponent Panda was actually significantly higher in level, as we're now looking at the Rock Golem creep camp about to be creeped out. All right, here you go. Lich is now just coming in over here, going after these units. We do see a Frostworm already in play. Very, very interesting read by Tara this time around, going for a Frostworm, which is very effective at taking down bears, and also making sure that if your opponent is trying to escape, some units will get picked off. All right, Troll, Orgo Magi now taking down Forest Troll, Warlord, the last big unit left here. We'll see what item is going to be dropped. It looks like it is going to be Kagur's Gem of Health. That Panda now sitting at a very, very high level. What's happening here? Oh, gonna go ahead and use Rejuvenation. Is the Demon Hunter gonna pick it up? Yes, the Demon Hunter now sitting at 975 hit points, and that is a lot. And then add in the fact that he has actually 6 points of armor. That makes him very difficult to take out. All right, still going around the map, doing a lot of creeping. Panda still sitting at level 4. Demon Hunter may try to come in here. Gets off a good mana burn onto the Death Knight, as the Demon Hunter is still running around. That -5 armor still not too worrisome for that Demon Hunter, since he does have that Gem of Health, giving him enough hit points to really, really fight a long, long fight. Frostworm Destroyers now making their way over. All right, it looks like we could have a little bit of a play here. Archer is going to get taken down. Staff of Preservation on a bat on another unit there. Archer now trying to get back. And let's see what's going to be happening as the Bears were able to teleport back in time. Yes, did a little rough around the edges, but still going to be able to rejuvenate themselves and get back up to full hit points in just a second. Meanwhile, off to the north, Goblin Sapplers. Oh my goodness. If you didn't see what happened, the second Goblin Sapper was too close to the first one, and because of that, the first Goblin Sapper killed the second Goblin Sapper, and now the Night Elf is going to continue to hold on to this expansion. That is just horrible news for the Undead. That would have put him ahead in terms of harvesting gold, as he would no longer be in high or he is in no upkeep while his opponent is in low upkeep. All right, let's take a look back over here. Bears are not going to try to engage. There they go. Staff of Preservation saving a low hit point bear. Death Knight being forced to use a second Scroll of Town Portal in as many minutes in order to dodge this, and I gotta believe that came as a huge surprise. All right, are we gonna perhaps see Nature's Blessing? Nature's Blessing probably necessary in order to try and keep your units alive, especially the Tree of Life, which is so vulnerable to dual Goblin Sappers. Death Knight now making its way over. You can see a quick ensnare there. Ogre Magi now coming in, Crypt Fiends, Obsidian Statues, but the real damage will be coming in from that Frostworm. As you can see, that Frostworm dealing a lot of damage to these heavy armor units, and now a Talisman of Evasion given to the Death Knight. Shade now making its way back down. Meanwhile, Demon Hunter going up against the Ogre Magi here. Ogre Magi gonna go ahead and fall. I believe so. Yes, there it goes. And as the Troll High Priest and the remaining units are going to get cleared up, that Demon Hunter will be very close to level 4. So far, we haven't really seen much action coming in from either of these sides. Both of them opting to do a lot of creeping instead of engaging in any sort of heads-up competition. Now, it's gonna come down to a little bit of luck then, as the items that you get from the creep camps can make a very big difference. Looking at the Death Knight, that Sobi Mask and Talisman of Evasion could play out to be very, very helpful. Meanwhile, the Demon Hunter with 2 Kagur's Gems of Health, meaning that he is a Demon Hunter with over 1,200 hit points at level 3. That Demon Hunter just feels much more powerful than you normally would. You can see him sitting at 700 hit points, and that's pretty much how much hit points he should have normally. The amount of hit points that the Demon Hunter has at this point, so much higher, so much more than you would normally expect, that the Death Knight may overread a couple of times and then try and take him down. All right, Demon Hunter, however, has taken a lot of damage. There's a Staff of Preservation from the Panda to save the unit there. And now What is the Panda going to do? The Panda's going to try and save another unit. No, unable to do so. The Death Knight now sitting at level 5. As you Staff of Preservation the Demon Hunter, that means that your other Staff of Preservation that's on your Demon Hunter cannot join back in on the fight. However, a level 3 Breath of Fire coming in from the Panda made it very interesting once more. Are we going to perhaps see, yes, another Dryad kill of Crypt Fiend, as now it looks like the Panda is saying, you know what, I am ready to go. Let me get out of here. Things are not looking good for me at all. All right, let's take a look back. Night Elf is still running up on 2 bases, not really using his economic advantage as of yet. Meanwhile, back off over here, Panda Archers. Archer quickly fallen, as that would give the Night Elf once again much more experience, or not much more experience, much more gold a minute by not being in upkeep. That is looking very, very strong here now, as we're looking at what the Lich and the Death Knight can do. Level 5 Death Knight, level 4 Lich. That Lich does have a, 2 Claws of Attack plus 9 and an Orb of Corruption. Extremely powerful items, as the Lich is almost pretty much dealing double damage, dealing 23 bonus damage on top of his normal minimum of 32. That is, what, 51 damage to 50, what's 57? No, 61? 61. No, wait, 32, 23. Oh my gosh, I'm tired. 55 to 61. That's how you know Crota's tired, when he can't do basic arithmetic. And this will probably be the only game I cast today, as I probably do need a little bit of rest. Anyways, let's come back to this. Obsidian statues. You can see Frostworm, Crypt Fiends, Death Knight, Lich, all ready together here. Meanwhile, off to the north, a Shade, keeping track of that Night Elf army. And all of the easy, or all of the really high priority creep camps in the center portion of the map have been crept out. The only things that are really left are the corners, and the corners can be taken by an undead player if he had actually gone for gargoyles. Gargoyle is one of those strategies that's extremely, extremely strong if you can harass your opponent to death. And even if you can't harass them to death, if you can use those gargoyles to clear out these corner creep camps with those very powerful dragons, that is generally more than enough. Death Knight now looking to regroup, and it looks like we're going to have a battle here. Tara sitting at 48 over 70. ADIS now sitting at 62 over 80. Night Elf looking extremely strong and going to be able to push up here at any moment. Panda sitting at level 5. So a level 5 Panda already, almost level 6, against a level, I believe it's a level 5 Death Knight and a level 4 Lich. But it just really feels like the Night Elf army is that much stronger. They are still getting more gold, and they are still able to do more every minute. What, 69 over 80 supply compared to, I believe it's 40 over, is it 49 over 70? And now here we go. Frostworm quickly trying to slow down a bear and make it so that it cannot join home. All right, meanwhile, let's take a look at this. There is a big fight here. There's a Drunken Haze Breath of Fire. Not going to really do much to the destroyers, but that one Abomination in the front is looking a little bit worse for wear. It looks as though the Abomination could get taken out here. It's short of a Death Coil. No, the Death Coil not intended for the bear, as the bear is going to fall, and now the Panda needs to figure out his strategy. Sitting at level 5, how is he going to play this? Is he going to be able to retreat in time? He's sitting at 104. There's a Scroll of Town Portal. Are we going to perhaps see another mana burn onto another Obsidian statue? And yes, we do. And this has just been extremely well timed by the Night Elf. Night Elf really sticking around not a minute longer than he wants to, keeping his Panda, and you can see the Gem of Health has been dropped. Gonna go ahead and try to heal back up, and now that Panda sitting at over or about 700 hit points is looking to finish things up. Undead really has to be cautious now, even with that plus 23 attack on the Lich. The Lich itself is now a straggler unit destruction machine, able to Frost Nova any unit and then beat it down with basic attacks. Here we are, 6 bears and just as many dryads marching out across the field, sitting at 71 over 80, and the bears are looking to get in position. You can see there are also hippogriffs in the air, and those hippogriffs are going to be able to perhaps shut down not only the destroyers but also the frostworms, since the frostworms are only dealing pierce or not very good at dealing with anti-air. Bears now on their way out. They're going to track down. Little does he know he is currently being scouted by a shade. Let's take a look down over here. Frostworm. Lich. Death Knight sitting at level 5, level 4. We do not have any signs of a tech to tier 3 at all. We do not have any signs of an extra base at all by the Undead. So the next fight will pretty much be all for the marbles. Tara now summoning or unsummoning some buildings in order to get a little bit more resources here, as we now see a tree of life being built in the back. This is interesting. Building this tree of life right here is just more of a slap in the face of his opponent to be like, you know what, I know you're going to try to establish a base here, but I'm going to establish one first, making it that much more difficult for you. And if it does set you back, say 40 seconds or so, that is still enough for me to end up in the positive. All right, let's take a look back over here. Bears, hippogriffs, dryads, panda now looking to just push on inside this base. Undead sees this with the help of a shade and realizes, you know what, I cannot sit here and engage much longer. I'm going to go ahead and back off. And here is the fight. Here you go. There is the quick attacks there, and there is a couple of webs. Destroyers trying to go after some units, and there's a Drunken Haze Breath of Fire, a beautiful Breath of Fire, going after all of those drakes. All right, meanwhile, we are going in. I thought I saw a Fairy Dragon. Not sure if I did any longer, as the Gargoyles are engaging here. All right, fighting in a very, very narrow corridor. Who's going to come out ahead? The Death Knight or the Panda? Panda now sitting at level 6. And if the Panda uses Earthstorm and Fire, that may be enough. This is also extremely bad news. There is a quick roar once more, as the Panda is still looking to put pressure on from inside the top left here. All right, there is a Cyclone, Earthstorm, and Fire now being used. And as it is used, I believe Tara doesn't have any chance whatsoever and gives the GG. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Hope you guys enjoyed it.